Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is July 23rd, 2018. We are rolling through this year. I always get amazed when I say the date because it's like, oh my goodness. Hope all is well. I have a new setup that I'm trying out. We'll see how it works. Got to decide if I like the way this camera's working, but we all got to try some changes, try something new. Hope all is well. All is going well for you all. Things are going well for me. I am getting more and more used to life with my son gone. I had to sort of get myself readjusted. We did so much traveling and just being obsessed with him being gone. It's an obsession. What can I say? I don't get to talk to him every day. So probably once I can speak to him every day, you know, it'll be different. But the other thing that's been going on is all of this universal energy. OMG, so much change. How was the last eclipse for you? I'm going to be honest. My life has been so whirlwind that I don't know. I don't remember. It must not have been anything too traumatic. I guess I'm so caught up with my son leaving that that's for me, the eclipse, the big change. I am a Scorpio rising. And so, it's happening in my fourth house. This upcoming one is happening in my fourth house. The other one happened maybe in my ninth house. So it's all been about learning. I'm very big into wanting to learn new things right now, especially astrology. I want to learn how to speak Spanish. I'm working on my health. It seems like there have been some, when I listen to the professional astrologers, seems like they're talking about stuff I need to work on with my health. So I've been sort of hyper-focused on that. Some of the other videos y'all have seen me make in the past, I've talked about my challenges. So like hot flashes are back. This is why you see me wiping my face. I'm so hot. Losing the weight that I've been working on for a couple of years now, but finally feeling like I'm on a program that's all about addressing the mindset. And so even though some of us know what to do, the question is, why don't we do it? You know, I'm a health coach. I have been a health fanatic for as long as I can remember. I think I've told y'all, I remember dieting when I was like 10 years old. Me and my friend were dieting and exercising in the 80s, okay? The early 80s, 1980. And so I've always been into this, but you know, sometimes you just lose your way. You need a new way. And I think that is largely what happened with me. So addressing my mindset has been a big, big deal. Oh, nice, Queen Trina B. How you doing? How you doing? Peace. Glad to hear that. Very, very nice. And the creative piece, that's a big deal. And you know, this upcoming eclipse, they say, the astrologers say the eclipse, you can sort of feel and know what's happening with you in the eclipse about 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. But the energy of the eclipse actually lasts for like 6 months. And so I know Queen Trina B has something with Leo. I can't remember what you said, but you know, Leo is creative. And Leo's on this Aquarius axis. So that's what this eclipse is. It's what a full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is opposite 180 to Leo. So, okay, happy birthday. Oh, wait a minute. Is this Leo season? When did the sun ingress Leo? Let me see here. Happy Leo season. Yes. Happy birthday to all the Leos. Happy New Year to all the Leo risings, if you have a lot of Leo energy in your chart, this is your time. The sun is in your area. So, and you know, I talked about this being the start of the new, this is the spiritual new year, because Leo is inspiration. And of course, the Leo is our sun sign. It's about, you know, the higher awareness. It's about what we're proud of. And even if we're not Leo, we all have the sun in some sign. We all have a sun sign. And so we can use this time where the sun is in its own sign to kind of have a moment where we do a reset, where we get in touch with the inspiration, you know, with our own sources of inspiration, because it's that inspiration that is going to keep us moving towards the goals that we set for ourselves. It's that inspiration, you know, that helps us to find the creative solutions that we desire, to find joy in life. I have learned so much since studying and taking these astrology courses. It makes me appreciate every sign. You know, a lot of times people talk about Leo being a little bit me-centered. But we have to be me-centered. They have an inclination. The Leos, especially if they have strong Leo energy, they will have that inclination, and they show us how to be proud of yourself, how to, you know, be me-centered for a change instead of always give, which giving is good. So I just really appreciate Leo. Leo is about creativity. It's also about children. So we should do something to help children during Leo season as a way to help us perhaps heal our own inner child, or just make a contribution to one of the most precious resources that we have, and that is in the form of human resources, in the form of children. So happy birthday, happy new year, Leos. So this upcoming lunar eclipse, like I said, is in Aquarius. It's sort of complicated as I see it. And again, I'm new. It's not, you know, I've been studying astrology for a year now, but this Aquarius thing, what makes it complicated is, first of all, Mars is there retrograde. Now, I think the eclipse point is happening it's not right at where Mars is, but they're both in Aquarius. So this Aquarius sign is lit up. Hey, how you doing, Tuesday's Grace? How you doing, Tracy? Oh, that's good, Queen Trina B. Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear that. I want you to have a great Leo season, girl. Do it up, okay? The whole season from start to finish. Do that thing. So all of Aquarius is lit up right now. So, you know, Aquarius is about progress, but Mars is in Aquarius. And the other thing about this is the south node of the moon is in Aquarius. And so the south node, as I'm learning, is very spiritual. So when we want to really begin to have the spiritual growth and understanding, it's important for us to really tap into the south node. So we all have the south node somewhere in our chart. If you look at your chart, you'll see the north node, the symbol for the north node. 180 degrees from the north node is the south node. And so the transiting north node is in Leo right now, which means automatically the south node is in Aquarius. North node in Leo, south node in Aquarius. And south node is about release. It's about spiritual release. It's about detachment. And it's also that place where we have to be selfless. And so this Aquarius time, with Mars being in retrograde. So of course, Mars in retrograde is perhaps having us to rethink this area of life where Aquarius is. If you don't know where Aquarius is in your chart, let me just tell you, this is how I look at it, because I'm sort of like a big picture kind of gal. Where should you be making progress in your life and you're not? Mars is asking you to look at that. You say you want A, are you working towards goal A, right? You say that, you know, you want to improve on something. You want to be further along in this particular area, on this particular project. But the question is, are you making progress? This is what Mars is wanting us to think about, because, you know, Mars is about energy and where we're really, you know, having our drive. And it's asking us to really look at, like, am I headed in the right direction? I said I wanted to do this thing. Do I have the right plan? And do I need to retool something? Perhaps you started making progress, but it's not like exactly coming out the way you want it to. So you're going to have to backtrack a little bit in this particular area in your life. So, you know, if you don't know your chart, and basically you have to know your birth time to know what house this is falling in. But even still, you know, if you never were able to look at your chart, you don't know what day you were born. You don't know anything about your birth chart. You know where you want to make progress in your life. You know what I mean? And so this is giving us an opportunity to do that. But that progress with the South Node being in Aquarius has something to do with something we need to release and let go of. There's some level of detachment we need to make. So for instance, in my 4th house, and I never would lie to anybody and act like I'm Miss Neat Freak, because I am not. I have the potential to be that way. But I struggle with clutter and just, you know, needing to purge. It's like a regular goal that I have. And so for me, that would be the release. Release some stuff, boo. Pack it up. Don't even think about it. Pack it up. Get it up out of here. Okay. Because what I find is that I am less productive if I don't feel comfortable in where I am. I cannot stand clutter. I don't know how I let myself get stuff all cluttered, but yes, I do. I have kids, especially that older one, because I actually have started decluttering my house. So, and then, you know, another thing for me, it's in my 4th chart, and I'm just using me to illustrate what's going on. I had no idea that this eclipse was happening in my 4th house, and it's happening around the time that my child has gone off to college. And so it wasn't like we had the choices when he was going to leave, because I definitely would not have had him go to the Coast Guard Academy during Mars retrograde, which is like the military sign. He's Aries rising and everything. So, but that's what has been really on my mind. Detaching. They tell us all the time, you need to detach, parents. Your kid is in the Coast Guard, so you don't have any say-so in their lives. The best you can do is support them. Don't tell them what to do. They need to learn how to grow up and handle it themselves. You know, detach. I've given up my child, you know, end of parenting, like K through 12 type parenting. And so it's making me have to really think about, okay, so I'm in a new phase of life. I only have one child at home. What do I need to be doing with this Mars retrograde? Thinking about, where am I going to pour forth my energy? And, you know, we need to be thinking about these kinds of things. So you know what is on your mind. You know what you're thinking about. You know what's going on in your life. And so this is a time through the end of August to begin to game plan what you want to do, because it's not really a time of new beginnings. It's a time of endings. This is a full moon, right? Yeah, it's a full moon, which has sort of like to do with, you know, you got there, now we're getting ready to go into the waning phase. You know, we're getting to the end. So these are the kinds of things you need to be thinking about in your life, and not having to really nothing new start if you can help it, unless it was already in motion until the end of August, because Mercury goes retrograde Thursday of this week, I think it is. And have you been seeing what's going on with yourself with this Mercury retrograde? Sheesh, I've almost gotten into car accidents, which y'all know that'll send me into a panic attack. I got into a car accident last year during Mercury retrograde. And, Mercury has to do with communication. And I just have noticed me and communication, it's a trip. So yeah, Mercury has to do with technology, communication, but it also has to do with our thoughts. So, I keep getting some back negative readings for myself. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is this? Am I having communication that's actually not productive and positive? Is it that I'm on social media too much? But also, this is a time for us to be thinking about what is in our minds. What are you thinking about? What do you tell yourself day in and day out? Do you have stinking thinking, or are you thinking thoughts that are more positive, which are going to probably take you in the direction you want to go versus the negative ones? It's a time for us to be rethinking all things Sebek, all things Mercurial, but so it has to do with the mind. Whenever we're talking about Mercury, and this is something, if you don't know let me think about what I'm about to say. I was going to say, if you don't know your birth time, you can still put your information in and find out where the planets are. So, for instance, and I'm saying all this to say, because Mercury is like the planet that folks are sleeping on. I really hope that y'all will go on ahead and like Cosmic Homegirl on Instagram as well as YouTube. She's one of my favorite astrologers, and she posted something the other day that talked about, if you're just talking about your sun sign, it's like you're talking about like put in the fraction of yourself. You're talking about a significant influence, but it's not the totality of you. So Mercury is where we're skilled. So if you have, say, for instance, Mercury in Gemini, which is a really good placement because Mercury rules Gemini, then that means that no matter what the house is, you have an inclination for writing. If you know what house your Mercury is in, then it's going to probably tell you what you'll be writing about. But you already know your inclinations. We don't have to see the chart to know this is what I have an inclination for. This is where it lights me up. It makes me feel so excited about life. And this is what I want to write about. But Mercury is about having skills. And so you want to, if you have a lot of planets in Gemini too, then that's another way of looking at this. But your skills are important, and knowing your Mercury, it shows you how you are skilled in the house of that sets the tone, that is set by the tone is set by Gemini, which is the third house. So if you know your birth time, look at your third house. It's the house of self-made wealth. That is the house that can show you how to really bling bling. So if you have a lot of planets in Gemini, even if you don't know your birth time, you have an inclination for doing Geminian things. If your Mercury, say for instance, my Mercury is not even in a good position, in a good sign. It's in Pisces. And people have always said to me, you do such a good job of breaking down spiritual information. I never really understand until I, heard you explain that. Mercury, because see, Mercury knows how to, it's like small little things. Mercury is small. It's not big. Sagittarius is big information. Mercury is bits and pieces of a thing, bits and pieces of information. But it is all about your skills, what you're skilled at. So wherever your Mercury is, that will give you some inclination about where you're skilled. And you might want to be thinking, about during this retrograde, are you working within your skill set? Is there something you need to do to improve your skill set? It does not matter our station in life. It does not matter our education, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people with education and they're not really set in life. It is everything to do with skills. I'm all about the skills. I'm all about the skills. Get your skills down. You can make money almost anywhere you go. So that's something to think about too with retrograde. Really working on your skill set and using those skills to better your life, to help you develop spiritually, but also to make that money, honey. But yeah, you want to be working on keeping a positive mindset and communication, and just really, what is it that you've been thinking on? Think on that. Think on the plan. What needs to be retooled? That's something else Mercury is good at. It's good at making something better. It'll take a concept that has been developed, look at it, and see how it needs to be improved. And so that's something to think about during Mercury retrograde. Use this time where Mercury is slowed down and like really giving you an opportunity to think about that thing that you need to make an improvement on, even if it's not a mercurial thing, but it's something in your life you need to make an improvement upon. How can you improve upon it so that when Mercury goes direct, you're ready to go with these improvement steps, okay? We also have one more eclipse coming up. I'll talk about that at another time, but yeah, we have another one. Okay, so energy surrounding us for the eclipse. Amen positive. I was so happy to see Amen positive. Again, this is spiritual energy. And so what I recommend that everyone do for the eclipse energy is to get really, really quiet. That's what Amen says. Amen is saying connect with the great divine consciousness. And you do that through silence. You do that through getting quiet, turning off the outside resources, outside noise, turning off the internet and, social media, TV, radio, conversations, any unnecessary communication, and getting really, really quiet. One of the things that is also important is to go to sleep, and we may find that we're dreaming. This is a lunar eclipse, so we may find that we're dreaming. This also sort of, when we get quiet and get tapped in and tuned into the great divine consciousness, it also kind of will be able to help us with dealing with this eclipse energy. This is also about transcendence. It's very important for us to seek to transcend something. Why are we staying in a box? You can't stay in that box. I can't stay in this box. We've got to break free of the box. So during this eclipse season, what box can you step outside of? Well, is it a label? Is it some role that is outdated? It no longer serves your purpose. Yeah. Do you have yourself stuck in a prison somewhere? Or has someone tried to put you in a prison? This is a time to really open to transcending that all. And one of the ways we transcend it is through beingness, is through understanding the greater picture, and knowing that we're not this flesh and blood. We are transcendent beings that are connected to the great divine consciousness. So that's Amen. Shh is how I like saying it. Shh. Be quiet. The other one is Het Haru Hetep. So that was good. That's Oshun. Wow. Talk about a creative time. This is a time to perhaps revisit your 2018 goals and objectives, to think about what it is you want to manifest using the law of attraction. and to take that time to see yourself achieving it. You want to apply the law of attraction during this very potent moon. My astrologer Lada has described this as like, I think she said it's the longest eclipse. And hold on one second. Queen Trinity, can you see me? Am I back? It looked like it left, or the connection was bad or something. Are you there, Queen Trinity? Or somebody? Anybody? Let me know. Can you hear me? I think you can. Great. Thank you so much. So awesome. Thank you. So this is why it's so important for us to really go into that transcendent place, because the more we're able to do that, it puts us in a particular feeling tone of, well, we're connected with the great divine consciousness, which is like the ultimate creator, creatrix. And so we want to get in that place. We want to be committed to peace. We want to feel peaceful and visualize that which we want to make manifest. Even if it's just one thing, you've got to believe in your dreams. You've got to believe in yourself. And you've got to walk in your self-worth and your value. That's another thing that's really important during this eclipse. You want to look at your self-worth and your self-value. Now, I'm not speaking astrologically. I'm speaking from the Metu Netter. You want to tap into your value, your self-worth. And the more we do that, then we get excited. We think on what it is we want and desire. Why is it that we say we want something, but then we will think, no, not me. We'll focus more on the fact that we don't have what we want rather than I'm going to get what I want. That's what we're being called to do during this eclipse. And so looking at your 2018 goals is, I think, such a big deal. And like I said, even if it's just one, during this eclipse time, now is a good time to start. Once you get to that place where you're feeling clarified because you're meditating, you're getting quiet, you're unplugging from the outside world, you can really put yourself and be thinking about every day, what is it that you want? And you've got to feel excited about it. Like, don't think anything negative. You've got to feel excited, and you visualize it as if, like, literally you're feeling the emotions. You have it. It's all there. It's so amazing. And that's going to open up that inner creativity to put it out in the universe. And of course, then you have to go on ahead and take the steps that it's going to take to get there. Some of us ask for it, but then we stand with our hands like this instead of like this. So we want to be ready to receive that which we want. It's also a time to get more creative. You know, I don't think people understand the importance of arts. It seems like the art is like something that people do, I don't know, like bougie or something. I don't know how to explain it, but our art is life. Our inner creativity is life. And though some people may dance and some people may create visual art and some people may create music, for other people, their art form is cooking, or their art form is creating video games. Some people's art forms might be refurbishing old cars. I met a man who, that's what he does. He's obsessed with refurbishing old cars and making them look great and, you know, all jazzed up again or whatever. And we all have our own inner creativity. And when we are in tune with it, we're inspired, we're happy, and we're hopeful that if I can create this, then I can have more of what I want in my life. So to be creative is not to be frivolous. To be creative and engage the arts in your way is going to provide for you a high level of abundance. It's a time during this eclipse, according to Metu, to heal your abundance consciousness. So going back to the theme of release in this eclipse, if you're not manifesting something, because you may find that you are manifesting something big. So though my son has left home and gone to the Coast Guard Academy, it's still a manifestation of a goal that I had, 18 years ago or so? Okay, more like 12 years ago. That my son would be homeschooled K through 12, graduate, and go to college. And so it's still a full moon situation. It's also a letting go. So it could be something like that. It's still positive, and now it's time to move on. Goal achieved, But during this time, I encourage everyone to really assess their abundance consciousness. If you feel lack of any sort in different areas, because it may not be money that you're lacking, it may be that you feel like you're lacking love. I'm beginning to realize how many people feel like they're lacking love. And that is a really big deal. It'll mess your spirit up. If you really want a love relationship and you don't have it, or, with a significant other, or you are lacking love just in general, like, maybe you don't really feel like you have friends or people that understand you. Aquarius is a sign where you're sort of weird. So maybe in the weird way that you are, you might want to go find your vibe tribe. You might want to go find people who you are like. I just feel like we just got to create our own tribe. And so it may be something like that. You may feel like you lack resources, help. You lack the ability to do something that's important to you. Lack. That needs to be addressed during this eclipse. Just look at what's coming up for you with the eclipse. You know what you've been dealing with this last couple of weeks. And then there's that third one coming in Leo, new moon in Leo, solar eclipse. I think the lunar eclipse is the most potent one, but it doesn't matter. It's 3 eclipses in a row. That's a lot. So these are things that you can really be thinking about. So even though it's time to be quiet, there's also a time to get out and do things that are fun and get your inner creative juices flowing, as well as joy. I once heard a guru say, we're here to experience joy. If you're not experiencing joy, then you're not doing it right. We come here to experience joy. That's an indication that we're headed in the right direction. So think about all the different areas of your life, where you work, what you do with your job, your family, your health. Just what do you do in your free time? Are you feeling joy in any of it? Where you're experiencing joy, keep doing that. Joy and happiness is so internal. It's transcendent of time. It makes you feel so alive. These are the things that we're talking about. And you want to be looking for that. Hello. How are you? So that's something to really keep at the forefront of your mind during this eclipse season. And that's from the Metu perspective. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I am wanting to do a course on the Ori. That's just something that is so important to me. I'm sort of shifting. So that's the eclipse. Any questions about the eclipse or anything that I've said, any comments? Just let me know. But I really want us to work on the Ori. So I think I am going to, I'll let y'all know once I get that up and running. So, but just know that's what I really want to do. And I'm doing that because I told y'all to stay on me. Queen Trinity, I did contact one of the Babalaos. Amy says, I am feeling the push-pull of the last couple of days. Yeah, it's It's really last week. I could not believe there was nothing astrologically going on, but the astrologers call it the time in between the eclipses. We didn't need anything going on last week. There was zero written on my astrological calendar. No ingresses, no major aspects between the planets. I was like, really? But this week, let's see here. Like yesterday, the sun, or today, the sun went into Leo. And then we have Venus opposition, Neptune, Sun square Uranus. I can't describe none of this. Y'all know y'all got to go. Where did y'all go? Are y'all there? I don't know what happened to the chat. Oh, there it is. Mercury retrograde on the 26th. I think the full moon is on the 26th. Oh my God. Okay. So I am one who really believes in doing as much as you can outside in nature. So if Stone Mountain is calling you, then I say go for it. Just make sure I'm looking at your picture. I don't know if I see. Are you of African descent? That's African American, I should say. Hi, Elaine. Okay, so the only thing I would say, and this might just be me being paranoid, is, just set up a boundary and make sure only this Orisha and the ancestors of light are there with you in Stone Mountain. It might be all cleared out. Seems like Stone Mountain just sort of had a reputation. But so if you're going to be opening yourself spiritually, you just need to do it to make sure. Yeah. And to a certain degree, what she's saying is that Stone Mountain is really known for like some racist BS, but we're not going to clear it if we don't go there. You know what I'm saying? We got to go there and just be like, we staking our claim here too. Okay. But by the same token, but last time I went there, one of my family members planned a family reunion. We were up in there strong. So you'll probably be fine. So yes. Let me see here. So something was powerful about last night. I'm not quite sure because two of you all are saying it was really strong and powerful last night. I'm showing the sun went into Leo. Maybe it was late last night, yesterday, but yeah, it might be today. Anyway, sun moved into a new sign, so it could definitely be that. Amy, are you a Leo, or do you have a lot of planets in Leo? Let me see if there's any other questions or anything else. Okay. So that's what I have for you all today. Let's see here. Mars, something that you can use to deal with this Mars energy would be cedar. So one of my friends used to say, look, get some cedar essential oil and, diffuse that into your home. If we're dealing with Mars, okay, Amy. If we're dealing with Mars, then, Mercury. Mercury is all about the nervous system. Oh, you know what? So is Aquarius. Both Mercury and Aquarius are about the nervous system. And y'all know what? Mercury is in Leo. So we have at least 2 planets in Leo now. That could be some of the switch that's happening too, which is, it's all caught up in this lunar eclipse energy that's coming up. So, but doing things to work on your nervous system is something else that I would recommend. So taking Nervines, the B vitamins, anything you can do to help calm your nerves. Another thing I would do is what helps you to clear your mind and avoid doing things that clog your mind. So for me, that means I need to not look at any of my news. Now, I don't watch mainstream news, but I still watch too much news sometimes. Staying off social media clogs my mind because guess what? I'm taking in some mess. What I need to be doing is listening to Michael Beckwith on Audible or going to Stone Mountain and sitting in nature, which I'm in Tennessee, but you know what I mean. I need to be out in nature, clearing my mind. I'll tell y'all something else to think about. Ifa teaches that it's all about character development. We want good character. And so anytime we're dealing with this energy of Mercury, we are also dealing with the energy of Eshu Alegwa, who stands at the crossroads. And so during this time we're still in the shadow period, and then Mercury goes retrograde the 26th, I think. And then there'll be a 2 to 3 week shadow period afterwards. It goes into September, where we stand at the crossroads. And what that means is when you're standing there like, I have option A and I have option B, C and D. I wonder which one I should take. And so, and then, it's like you deal with the consequences that come, even if it seems like sometimes we may make a choice that's not of good character. Maybe we get away with it 1 or 2 times. Karma is real is what I say. Even if you think you got away with it, there will be payments unless we go on ahead and make the payment ourselves, because I've done things that I just regret doing. And I'm like, what can I do to pay this back? We're going to make mistakes. So that's not a problem. But we want to really be looking at these crossroads situations. How do they reflect our character? Something I've talked about before that I struggle with is gossip. I'm not one who is going to be telling other folks' business. But if somebody's talking to me about somebody else's business, sometimes I can rationalize. And that's the other thing with this Mercury retrograde. We need to look at our whack rationalizations. I'll rationalize why I should listen to this gossip. Instead of saying, honey child, I don't gossip, okay? I'm not doing that gossip business. So, that might come up for me since that's, and it's even Mercury. Because, Mercury, that's a little gossipy. Mercury is chatty. So that's something that we want to be thinking about, looking at our crossroads situations during Mercury retrograde. Mercury's retrograding in Leo. Mercury's going to be in Leo for a long time. And so foot and mouth syndrome. Somebody, the other day, and if you're watching this, I'm just calling you out because I don't know. I gave you my website to look at this, but I was talking to somebody about I need to go to this local place and do readings. And this person asked me if I was on that level of being able to go to this, metaphysical bookstore and do readings. I'm like, what? But that's so Mercury and Leo, okay? Mercury and Leo. I can't see y'all's comments. Oh, there it is. Okay, I guess I have to hover. I'm using something new today. Foot and mouth syndrome might happen. I'm just really watching my words. Am I speaking life to people or am I using my words to tear people down? This is what I'm looking at with Mercury and, the shadow period of its retrograde. I'm really looking at my communication. Leo is about inspiration. Am I being inspirational? Am I speaking life into people's lives? I've just been starting to train myself when someone does something, when I'm driving down the road and it makes me mad, instead of saying, I can't stand you, you just on my nerves today, it's like, you know what? I really hope and pray that you have safe travels wherever you go. Bless you. And I mean it. I want to be speaking truth to power. I want to be speaking life into people's lives. Okay. And in Mercury retrograde, we're supposed to be thinking like, really, what am I talking about? What am I saying? So that's something else for us to be thinking about. Let me see. Bring on the positive. Yes, let's do that. We're in the spiritual new year of Leo. Leo is literally, I know Leo gets a bad rap for being like way too confident at times, and thinking that the world serves them. But Leo is seriously our source of inspiration. That's ruled by the sun. Okay. Even if our sun sign is in something else, the ruler of the sun, or the sun rules Leo. Leo's important to all of us. Okay. It's positivity. It's about fun and excitement and hobbies and creativity. It's also about who you're dating. So if you're married, go out on some dates. Do something fun and frisky. If you're not dating, not married, you might want to go out and have a few dates, or just go hang out with some friends. Not everybody's ready to be in a relationship, and I'm okay with that. Eshu and Obatala. Okay, Queen Trina B is saying last night she felt the energy of Eshu. Well, that's Mercury. And Obatala. What do I relate Obatala to? I need to see what planet is Obatala. Because in the Metu Netter, that's Orsair, and there's no planet for Orsair, but I might relate Obatala, maybe sort of kind of to, I need to get I have to look that up for y'all. Because I think Baba Karaday, Ifa Karaday addresses the planets, looks at the planets and compares it to the Orisha. But Obatala is sort of like Jupiter type energy. I don't know. And Jupiter's in Scorpio. Okay, so Amy says, yes, I am truly at crossroads with my confidence or listening to the old. Yes, very good, Amy. So yes, maybe this is what you need to be thinking on. Where are you confident or not confident in your life? This is what, you're being called to do. And so working at the crossroads, and you can actually literally go to a crossroads. When you're at a crossroads, especially if you're making a trip, you can throw out 3 pennies, 21 pennies, and ask Eshu to help you with your crossroad situations. Okay. This doesn't matter if you are initiated or not. Okay. I'm just telling you, the Orisha belong to all of us. It's not just those initiated. The Orisha know us before we know ourselves. So work with Eshu. If you could, Eshu is red and black. The colors are red and black. Maybe get a candle or two and sit and talk with Eshu. Give Eshu candy. That's a thing that's really big with Eshu. Candy and pennies. 3 pennies, 21 pennies. Okay. And help you to work with those crossroads situations so that you are operating from confidence and good character. A lot of times when we say Ashe, that's like an Eshu thing. And because it speaks to our life force energy. That's what Ashe is, our life force energy. And Eshu is known to have some life force energy. If you learn about Eshu. But yeah, work on your nervous system and like avoid, if you can, buying cars, and just look at your time. Like if you run late, you're really going to run late during retrograde. So let this be a time for you to maybe get yourself together on what is it that's making you run late, and how can you get to places of importance on time. I know some places, no matter if you get there early or late or not. I'm just trying to think of things you can like practically do to work with this time. I would say you could also work with the energy of Oya, just sort of thinking about Aquarius and South Node is there. Work with Oya. Work with that. Oya, you do breath work. Frankincense and myrrh is the scent that you can use to work with her energy. Eggplant, you could perhaps like give an offering of an eggplant. And people say if it's cooked, it's really bad. If it's not cooked, it's not so bad. And, maybe put it somewhere special near graveyard. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like dealing with graveyards, not because I'm scared of them, but I just, if it's not a graveyard I know and trust, I'm not going to that graveyard because I'm not going to try to have people come and arrest me. And I really, it's like you got to get to know your graveyards so you know where to go and leave it so you're not disrespecting somebody's grave site. But that's where she is, at the graveyard. Last thing I'll say is perhaps you could work with your ancestors during this time. Well, it's always time to work with the ancestors. But this is a time perhaps where you could really reach out to your ancestors, let them know that they're there, pour libations, honor them, tell them thank you for letting you stand on their shoulders, help you in the areas where you're not competent, help them to help you reach your goals. If you feel like you lack help in life, your ancestors are sitting there waiting to help you. And so pour some libations, give them a small little plate of food, create an altar for them, white cloth, white candle, plant, clear glass of water, pour libations into the plant or a plant in your house, and talk to your ancestors. The more you talk to them, then when it's time to make some moves, you can say, hey, ancestors, I need your help. They will help you. The ancestors, oh my gosh, I bow down to the ancestors. I love the ancestors. I love the ancestors. Thank you all so much for being here today. I appreciate you. You are most welcome, Amy B. Yes, I try to talk generally because most people don't know anything, but y'all understand generalizations and where this applies in your own life, even if you don't know. But guess what, y'all? The readings that I do now, I always look at your astrological chart. And so please remember, I do divination. I use the African oracles. I use the Metu, just kind of depending on what you get. My website is goddessbodymindspirit.com. That's MIND, goddessbodymindspirit.com. And you can go to my spiritual readings page, and that's where you will find the different types of readings that I do. And now that I know more about astrology, I absolutely can look at your chart and kind of give you an idea. So for instance, if the house that the eclipse is happening in is about your money, is it about your family, is it about education, relationships, I can absolutely let you know that. Okay. And so thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video. Please share the video. And I hope to see y'all before like the next 2 weeks. But whenever I see you, I hope to hear how things are going for you all, and just to see where these shifts that are happening are going to lead you all. Blessings of the Mother be upon you all. I wish you all the happiest eclipse season. May it be gentle on your spirit, but poignant in terms of the action that you take. Love you all. Peace.